video from my August 15th, 2015 trip with Power Scuba to what was supposed to be Santa Barbara Island and Farnsworth Bank. Unfortunately, when we got to Farnsworth Bank, there were a bunch of fishing vessels on there in the morning, and then we went back in the afternoon. The current had picked up, and there was no way that we could stay. That said, it was still a really fun trip. Our trip to Santa Barbara Island was first, and our first dive was in the southeastern Kelp, and we had plenty of visitors. The sea lions were thrilled to see us, thrilled to play with us, and absolutely adorable, as usual. This particular one was kind of cute when he grabs a piece of the kelp here. And as JP demonstrates, if you spin with them, it'll trigger them to spin. They like to play with you. They're probably bored with me and my rebreather, since I don't blow any bubbles. In this southeast kelp, and actually even in the rookery, there are barren patches of sand. And this is a good opportunity to find sort of a clearing, and the sea lions will come and play with you here. They also seem to hunt in the sand. I don't know what little crustacean or creature that they find there. Our max this time was 3 sea lions. I wasn't able to get any on video because they darted in and darted out and were playing with each other, but these 2 were particularly cute. One was enjoying rubbing himself on the sand. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of an equipment problem, and as you can see, JP's dry suit was leaking. We also found a really cool swim-through in the southeast kelp. This is the first time I've ever found it. It was fairly tight quarters, but not uncomfortable. This is Pseudo Rock, a little swim-through gap that you can see. These are a couple of mating sea hares. You can see that white-yellow bundle in between them are eggs. This was a cool little albino flounder of some sort. I thought it was a shell, but then I saw it move. This was the 3rd dive site, Brillo Star. The ground is actually carpeted in little tiny brittle stars. This is the first time I've seen the carpeting of brittle stars with quite a bit of kelp. And given the angle, you can see that there was quite a bit of current. There was a 2-spot octopus who was hanging out with this lobster here. And he came out, this is the same 2-spot octopus, and wasn't too thrilled at me videoing him with my lights. You can see his spot there, and he takes off. Unfortunately, he's a lot faster than I am. This is a Ellacalifornica. What's interesting about this little guy is it's not actually a true nudibranch. It has an internal soft shell that runs about 3/4 length of its body. Here's another octopus. I'm guessing it might be a 2-spot. It's kind of hard to tell when they're in this color. JP spotted him. I have no idea how. Another octopus. Guessing this is also a 2-spot. You can see a little circle right underneath his eye. There were a ton at this particular site. This was one of the largest lobster I had ever seen, and it was tucked away with a few other lobster. I tried to grab him, but I didn't want to hurt him. And when he swam off, he latched onto some kelp. So, come lobster season, make sure to look up as well. I thought this was really cool. He stayed there our entire dive. This is actually the rookery, and as I said, we had some pretty good sea lion interactions here, although I have to say the southeast kelp was the best. We were going to do a night dive here, but unfortunately the wind had picked up like crazy and the boat swang back and forth like a pendulum. So it was blowing over 20 knots and the captain called it off. Probably safest. This one particular sea lion with the bite marks on its side stayed with us for quite a while. This was an angel shark that I spotted. You can see how well it camouflages in. I was so thrilled to find this one. We had seen 3 our last trip out here. And they stay in the same place for up to 7 to 10 days. They're ambush predators. When they find a good spot, they stick to it. As you can see, JP is sort of swishing away the sand, and it's remaining still. Even though these 2 huge mammals are, cleaning it off, it decided that this was its spot. There were also several bat rays. I love to watch them glide through the kelp forest. It's beautiful. This one I actually kind of snuck up on. We saw it in one of those sand patches, and I worked my way little by little towards it. You could see it raise its fins and raise its tail a little bit as I got too close, and then it would calm back down. Finally, it decided it was done being harassed and took off. This was the base of Pedestal. This was our first dive on the second day, on Sunday. This is about 100 feet. As you can see, it's absolutely covered in Gorgonians. The viz was pretty decent this day. This is a Hermesenda cassicornis. We came across a cluster of 5 or 6 of these on Pedestal. It's really cool to see. This one was quite large, and I was able to take some video of it. Unfortunately, I lost my macro lens for my GoPro. This is a Mexicromus porteri. These were 2 very large moray eels that we found. These are probably the 2 largest from the trip. I believe this is a Flabellinia trilineata. JP spotted it. It was in a ripping current area, and this was the best video that I could get. And, of course, a baby horn shark. I love these guys, and just because it's common doesn't mean it's not cute. This was a great set of dives. We got 7 in. The visibility really improved the second day. As always, it's a fun trip with everybody.